Good morning. Which side's full? This side. Life gives us a lot of interesting things to think about. Out of all the different things that we think and see and do and so on, one of the things that always comes to mind is how we use different words. Now, I've done this before, talking about different words, but I like to talk about specific words in every single time. One word that we use a lot is poor. When I say poor, I don't mean like financial. I'll discuss about why financial, but it's where it's poor as we see everything of a lower quality. Now, a lot of people see me as someone who I don't make a lot of money. Am I poor? I don't have the newest and nicest things. Does that make me poor? Not really. Yes, there's a lot of things I can't afford. But I am not of a lower quality. I'm not poor. I do a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff for myself. A lot of stuff of different things. Things that are different. I see life as different. I don't have a credit card. I don't have debt. I own my own vehicle. Yes, it's a little busted up blue pickup truck, but it does what I need to do. It gets me where I have to go. So, am I poor? It depends on what your standards are. With a little bit of money that I make of my main day job, because they cut our hours, because of the new law that makes it that anybody who gets more than 30 hours has to, if you make 30 hours, you have to get insurance. They have to pay for insurance. Now, I already pay for my insurance. Out of the money that I make, I pay for my own insurance every month. I pay for my vehicle insurance. I pay for my rent. I pay everything. I have no debt. I owe nothing. Am I poor? Well, it depends. At the end of the weeks, because how they cut my hours down to less than 27 hours a week. Yeah. Yes, it seems like I'm going to be dirt poor. But I pay all my things. I have no debt. I'm not starving. It's all these different things. Yes, I would like to buy more fruit, but, right at this time, I can't really afford it. But you know what? It happens. Life does that. Life does a lot of things. And as I'm doing all this, I see all sorts of people that complain that they can't do anything because they have so much debt in so many different ways. Some days a week, I dress up as a pirate, and I get these little part-time jobs of doing things as a pirate. It's fun, it's entertaining, it's peaceful, it's liberating. In this area, there's a lot of different things about pirates, so people love pirates, and there's only 3 pirates out here on these islands. And out of all this, is basically whenever I move from where I am now, I'm going to have to cut back at being a pirate. So, technically, it's a phase. Yeah, self-shave. I grow my hair out to donate to Locks of Love. Yeah, so, pirates. Now, when it comes to looking at life itself, how do you standardize your quality? Is it financially? Your happiness? What is your standard to be of rich and poor? Food can be rich of flavor and deliciousness, which makes your mouth water with every single bite. Just the aroma itself as it hits your nostrils, where that can give you that beautiful richness that it makes you crave and want it so much. Poor quality. Fast food stuff. Yes, it can have some good flavors, but it won't be that, that delicious flavors that you're looking for. Where's my spatula? I misplaced my spatula. Now, when you go with seeing what is and what is not poor, we use the words when it comes to money, because everyone's constantly thinking about money, way too much. So instead of thinking money constantly, why don't we see it as quality of life? We have to see it as a way that we can be happy with what we have. And we have to think about what we do with what we have. Yeah, it's only been once because that I have actually been under, that I had my bank account negative. But that was because My insurance didn't give me warning at all, because usually they send me an email. And then one day I decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to go buy myself a sandwich. Then when I tried to go buy myself a sandwich for lunch, it showed me I was a negative. I'm like, oh, without warning, I wouldn't have known if I didn't buy anything that day. And because of that, a friend of mine loaned me some money because I was going to get my paycheck the next day. The timing was so horrible. So a friend of mine loans me the money just for the day. The next day, I got my paycheck, and then I paid him back. So that was a one-time thing. My God, that was a surprise. But yeah, this week alone, I've seen many different interesting things. I have paid for all my expenses, for my rent. Paid for my rent. I've paid for my insurance and everything. And about today or tomorrow, they take out my car insurance, rent, and stuff. And in my bank account, I should have about $12. This is Tuesday. I get my paycheck on Monday. No, Friday. I get it on Friday. Now, I could be stressing out, but you know what? I really don't need the money. I don't need the money. Because I don't have to go out and constantly be spending the money. Money becomes this chain and shackle that goes on to us that we really do too much with. We really prioritize too much with. For me, it's kind of silly. And when I say kind of silly, I mean why do we create ourselves into this void of money when we can do so much with so little? If I could, I would redo everything. When I say redo everything, I mean I would change my life in a way where I would have to use little to no money. I would trade, I would barter, I would exchange things. Now that way, we can do so much, so much with so little money. Shoot, if I didn't have to pay rent. Basically, I only work to pay rent and insurance. Everything else I can earn and trade and so on. Even when I dress up as a pirate, I mean, people will trade for different things I make because I make jewelry. Some people will trade me, they'll give me money and or food. The greatest things I like doing is getting food and drink from people where you have not just earned, you could have earned some coin to spend yourself, but then whenever someone sees that you have done good work and that they will pay you with a meal, a warm meal that you've earned. A warm meal doesn't matter how little or how much money you have. The moment you have earned that warm meal, it actually tastes a lot better. Because if you paid for it yourself, usually you don't think about it. You think about how you paid for it. But whenever someone else pays for a meal, it tastes a lot better. It tastes in a way that you would never expect. A meal that someone else pays for. That's why when someone else pays for your dinner, or it always tastes a lot better. If you're the one cooking, you already got the aromas, you got that feel to it, whatever. If you're paying for a meal, you're thinking about the payment, unless you're like filthy loaded with cash. But the point is, food tastes better whenever you don't pay for it. I don't have a lot of money, but I'm happy. I'm peaceful. I have a very balanced state of mind. Yes, I will rant. But, ranting is a way of liberating. I like to be truthful. I like to explain things. I like to talk about things. I'm kind of strange. But you know what? It's peaceful. It's happy. I don't lose sleep over money. I don't. I won't lose sleep over money. I'll be happy. I'll be peaceful. The last time I lost sleep for anything was because of a relationship, of possibly gaining a relationship. Other than that, I still sleep well. No, I'm still an insomniac periodically, but that's because I just think too much. Life is interesting. And the word poor doesn't mean only riches. It's about quality of life. I'm not poor. I'm not rich. Well, in a few places I am. But other than that, I'm quite happy. And to all, good afternoon.